3. Point. Chapman's privileged loading status in the APC came at the cost of being point on arrival. Richter reassured her in the seconds before the doors unlocked, and the driver radioed ditto from up front. The surface settlement was clear on infrared. No bogies. The two which the drone had spotted earlier had been pretty far from the settlement, way out in the pine forest northeast, and nothing bigger than a hare had registered otherwise on that sweep. The doors came open, and Chapman disembarked. Her form was clean and precise. She had her weapon brought to bear by the time the first weak rays of overcast sunshine came filtering in, was sweeping the cottages and forest outside the door, was emerging from the APC with the rifle at her shoulder and her finger beside the trigger as her boots hit hot dirt. She panned, quickly, but not too quickly. Door, clear. 3 windows, clear, clear, clear. She advanced 2 paces, just enough to afford the Nat Guards the space to disembark, but not far enough to lose the cover afforded her by the hulking armored flank of the APC. Behind her, big boots hit dirt, and with deadly efficiency which was a credit to their branch, they fanned out around the APC. In the settlement, nothing moved. They were shitty longhouses, made out of a combination of salvaged, donated, and harvested building materials. There were 4 identical-ish long huts, 1 story each, ringing the area where the APC had creaked to a halt. Chapman saw colorful debris under one of the huge tires, some kind of a shrine. She could see the jagged edge of a swastika, painted on a plank of wood. A thin forest crowded in between the longhouses, anemic pine trees and nothing else. You think of forests as being dark, but these crappy little trees growing up in the mountains in West Virginia were thin and thin on the ground. That was dangerous. The forest looked bright and thin, but in looking Chapman knew her range was severely compromised by the trees. They were deceptively thin. You thought you knew what you were looking at, but you were never quite sure what you weren't seeing. The squad reported in. Clear, clear, clear. "All right," Billings said. "At ease, form up on me." They did, cradling their weapons in their arms and squaring up around their commander, staring past one another into the pine forest. They made room for Chapman, which was good of them. Billings barked orders. They were to form up, keep close, stay frosty. They would spread out into the settlement, checking structures as they went. Once cleared, they would reconvene for further instruction. Everyone understood. They moved out. Chapman kept her rifle cradled in her arms, allowing the grunts to do the hard work of panning and scanning the forest, the crappy longhouses, the smaller shacks. They advanced forward from the APC, checking and clearing the longhouses first, and then moving into the smaller structures up the road. The dirt road around which the settlement was clustered led up, a winding pathway which ran, she remembered from the brief, half a mile from their insertion point up to the mines themselves. If shit was going to go down, Chapman believed, that is where it would happen. She didn't seriously think that there was anyone left above ground, save for the 2 mystery heat sigs they'd seen earlier. But hell, for all they knew, the Separatists had dug an escape route. These hills might be honeycombed with secret tunnels, their entrances cloaked by deceptively thin and crappy pine forest. Time, she supposed, would tell. She looked down the road, which twisted and wound up the mountain foothills. And above, and beyond, there they were. Gog on the left hand, Magog on the right. Shelves of pink granite had been carved out, the earth and the trees which had once covered the coal below having long ago been scourged away. Flayed of their flesh, the bones of the mountains bleached under the sun like tears on a ziggurat in Babylon of old. Between those mountains was the entrance to the Akanachi coal mine, and there, if anywhere, the Separatists would be waiting in ambush.